Hey, today we're going to do a little bit of inner thighs and hip and waist work using the Pilates Ring. If you don't have a Pilates Ring, you could use a soft smushy ball or double a pillow over or something, just anything that you can kind of squeeze that's not going to be too awkward. Let's begin by sitting with the ring between your knees. Feet are flat. I'll back up so you can see me. And I want all of your toes on the ground, so I don't want you to do that. Just start by squeezing the ring, and as you do, I want you to reach taller, almost like you're trying to reach your ribs up away from the hips. Not really trying to shrug up. In other words, we're not taking our shoulders up, we're just reaching up. Let's do 4 more like that. Mostly this is just inner thighs. Well, also, if you have one of those Suzanne Summers Thigh Masters, she kind of stole this idea and made it into a triangle. That would work too. You have to go out in your garage and comb through stuff to find that. Let's just do inner thighs now. Sink back a little bit to take it out of the hip flexors, and just with vigor squeeze for 20 times. Ten more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's add a little ab work to it. Squeeze as you roll down and then come back up. The ring is going to become an oval, and as it does, the bottom part of the ring is going to come to a point where it's almost going to touch the floor, and I'd like you to roll down to that point if you're able to. If you have a tailbone issue, you can put a pillow underneath or just lessen your range of motion. What I want you to really focus on is how the inner thighs are working into the pelvic floor and you're working the low ab area. 2 more with your arms just drifting to the side of your knees. Last one. Now, 8 where your arms are out to the side like a letter T. The closer your arms are to be towards the legs, the easier it's going to be. So if this is too difficult for you, just take your arms a little more forward. Just rocking back and forth. Kind of you wanted to do a sit up, then you changed your mind. Good. Now arms straight up, but keep your eyes on your belly. 8, 7. Squeeze the ring, whole bunch. Use the inner thighs. 3 more. Just about a 6 vertebra section of the back going on. Last one. Good. Just so we are not all work today, I'm going to give you a little bit of a stretch for your legs, and then we're going to come into some more ab work. So sink back away from your legs and allow the length of your legs to pull your shoulder blades apart. Keep your shoulders shrugging away from the earlobes. And now I want you to bend both knees, and we're going to do a little spinal massage. So when the legs come up, C curve, roll down and come up. Just 4 of these, keeping the back rounded and the belly hollowed up. Eyes remain on the belly. On the next one, when we come up, we're going to find that magic balance point. So up nice and tall. Now a string pulls your sternum as if it wants to reach above the level of your knees. Lengthen your legs. Let's do 4 more rocks. 1, coming up with your belly. Pull the belly in and up. Squeeze through the inner thighs. Come up and balance. Give yourself a nice tall, tall spine. So notice how we're coming into a modified teaser position. A little bit of help with the ring, but we're warming up to come into that position, warming up our back, our abs, our legs, nice and tall. And then eyes come to the belly. Last one like this. Just rock 1. Little blood flow to the spine. Never hurt a girl, huh? Come to that balance point. Come nice and tall. Put the ring aside and place your hands lightly on the back of your thighs. So we're not clutching, it's light. Eyes to the belly. Roll down slowly. Put pressure into the back of your hamstrings and lengthen your legs up towards the ceiling. So get them as close, the toes as close to the ceiling as you can. Drop your heels to your legs 90 degrees. Come up and balance. Now here's our teaser. Lengthen the legs, toes at the same level as the eyes. Reach up tall. Circle your arms around, light touch, roll down with control. Put pressure into the hands, hamstrings into the hands, hands into the hamstrings, both working, eyes to the belly. Come up tall for teaser. Let's do 2 more like that, 4 reps of all of these. Rolling with control, always trying not to plop back down to the floor. Drop the heels, roll off with control. Tall teaser. Last one here, eyes to the belly, roll down with control. Lengthen your legs, drop, come up. Tall teaser. Now try to keep the upper body quiet as you lower the legs, lift. Lower, I want you to lift with the belly, right there. 2, 3. If you have tight hip flexors, you can do it with bent legs. End with the legs down, forward fold. Touch your toes if you can, shins if you can't, knees if you can't, but just forward fold. Try to get your hamstrings as close to the floor as you can. Give yourself a stretch and a breath and a stretch, both things. Now take the ring. I said inner thighs today, so we're gonna do a little bit of that. Come onto your right hip and place the ring on top of your right ankle. The left ankle is going to secure the ring, and I like to put it on with my knee down so that when I lengthen my legs, it's not going to slip off. Support your head with your hand, and we're going to begin by keeping the bottom leg quiet and squeezing in with the top leg. So think of the top inner thigh trying to squeeze and meet the bottom inner thigh. Hips remain stacked. Just a little bit of leg work. 3 more here. 2, 1. Now try to get the top leg just to be a wall of power and let the bottom leg squeeze up. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. It'll be a small motion. Hand is here for support. It would be hard to have my hand off right now. I don't think I would get as much out of it. So I'm relying on the hand to make my work deeper, not necessarily to make it harder. 2 more there, squeeze. Now, we're gonna use both legs to squeeze together. I'm in Florida, so I'll say like alligator jaws. And then both legs will lift, involving the waist now. Hand comes here like a little kickstand. Squeeze both legs, lift, lower, release. Squeeze, lift, lower, release. Now for me, I feel my bottom inner thigh. You might not, maybe that's my weak point. Legs should not be able to lift a lot because we're maintaining the stack of the hips, which limits the movement of the legs. 3 more. 2, 1. Draw the knees in, take the ring, lengthen the legs back out, cross the bottom ankle over the top, put the ring right in front of the chest, hand is on the ring, elbows drop below the level of the wrist. If it's above, that means you're trying to power through it. Press into the ring, lift both legs. Squeeze into the inner thighs, so your legs are kind of like mermaid legs here. And use the ring as if you're stabilizing, like it's a table and you're pressing down to lift up. Obviously, you'll feel your waist, a little bit of hip work here. 2 more here. Last one. Now take the ring and hop it up so that it's a little bit in front of your face or your head. Separate the cross of the legs. Both legs will lift on this, and when we split the legs, the top leg will always go back. Elbow remains below the wrist. So lift both legs. Top leg goes back as you split and come together. Keep the legs lifted, split. Split, a little bit of muffin top, high waist in the back. Squeeze onto the ring. Keep the elbow lowered. 3 more. We're going to pause on the extension of the legs, 2 on the split of the legs. Pause there, flex both feet, and pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the knees in. Let's come to the other side for that whole series. So this time, the handle of the ring will come on top of the left ankle, kind of right above the left ankle bone. And again, I like to drop this knee to get it set up, because if I do this, then when I lengthen my legs, sometimes it comes undone, which then it's too much fussing. For the first set, I'm going to squeeze down with my top leg. For this one, I like to think of squeezing my glute as I do that, as well as wrapping it around, the work around into the inner thigh. 4 more there. 3, 2, 1. Now keep the top leg as your little balance of power. Squeeze up with the bottom leg. Use the inner thigh. So think of the squeeze not coming from the ankle. Think of it coming from the upper inner thigh and working into the pelvic floor. 3 more. 2. My inner thigh is aching. 1. Now the combination. Lift, squeeze, and down. Lift, squeeze, down. 6 more for 8 altogether. Two more. Last one. Bend both knees in so you can grab the ring. Lengthen the legs, cross the bottom ankle over the top, squeeze into the inner thighs. Hand is on the ring, elbow drops below the level of the wrist. Squeeze and lift. So we're pressing on the ring, getting the legs to lift as high as we can possibly get them. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now uncross the legs and take the ring slightly up. Both legs will lift, top leg will always go back. Drop the elbow below the level of the wrist. Up, split. Press down on the ring. The whole key to keeping the work in the waist is to keep the elbow below the level of the wrist. If you lift it, it becomes a shoulder exercise. 3 more there. 2, 1. Put the ring down and sit up facing me. Sit in a spine stretch forward position, which means the ribs begin directly over the hips. Legs are split, feet flexed. If you have tight hip flexors, soften the knees. You're going to do just a little pelvic tilt. So just a sink back of the pelvis, and then the ring comes to a distance where the heel of your hand can come on top of it without the ring tilting. I just want you to push down on the ring and put just 2 more vertebrae down onto the mat, and then as the ring releases, you lift up. So this looks like a really easy peasy lemon squeezy motion. It's not, it's very deep. So if you're doing it correctly. So it's a little mini roll down with the squeeze of the ring. This replicates an exercise that we do on the Pilates chair, and the placement of the hands now would be on the Pilates chair pedal. So squeeze it down. 3 more. 2 and 1. Lower your spine to the mat. I'm going to have you put the ring between your ankles again, but extend it up towards the ceiling. So long legs, hands behind the head. As you lift your head, neck, and shoulders, I want you to lower the ring and squeeze it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs return, head returns. 3 more sets like that. Lengthen the legs away. Squeeze. 8. Keep the integrity of your spine. And come up. 2 more like that. Lengthen away. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. And come up. Last one. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come up. Bend the knees. Take the ring so that the handle portion is on top of the left ankle and the back of the right ankle secures the ring. If you have a soft ball or something, you'll do the same position. The ball will just be between your legs. The legs are feet are on top of each other. Float the leg away until the left leg is in 90 degrees. As you lift your head, neck, and shoulders, you're going to lengthen the legs away, push the ring down with the top leg, pull the ring up with the bottom leg, bend and take your head back down. Lengthen away. Push the ring down with the top leg, pull it back up with the bottom leg, come back in. Only 4 more like this. You'll get a lot of quad in this, so it's not just abs. You're still thinking, since the focus is a little bit inner thigh, of squeezing through the center line as you extend your legs long. 2 more. Press down, pull up, drop back in. Press down, pull up, drop back in. As a little transition, both legs long, arms down by the side, just squeeze 20, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. Let's do the other side. Rest the handle of the ring on top of the right ankle. Secure the ring with the bottom of the left. Float the right leg away so that the right leg is in 90 degrees. Head, neck, and shoulders lift as you lengthen. Press down with the left leg, up with the right. Bend your head. Bend your knees as your head returns. So press down, come up. So as you press down, it's the hamstring of the top leg. As you press up, it's the quad of the bottom leg. Lengthen your legs. Try to lift up to your shoulder blades. Let your vision come between your inner thighs, not towards the ceiling, so we protect the neck. Keep your elbows wide so you're not pulling on your neck. 2 more. Down, up, and come in. Last one. Down, up, and come in. Draw the ring in. Take both sets of toes on the not handle part of the ring and stretch your legs away. Flex your feet as much as you can. You're going to draw your legs towards you with bent elbow only to the point where you can keep your legs straight. So if I bring my legs forward and I kind of bend, that's not what I want to have happen. So if your legs are happy here, keep them there. If you can draw your legs a little closer, hold it for a few seconds, flex the feet a little more, and then let it come away. 2 more like that. Find your kind of happy stretched out place, happy moment there. And you are encouraged to do this after the video ends, continuing this stretch because it's really good for your hamstrings. Bend the knees, ring aside, hands on the back of the thighs, and come and sit up. To stretch the inner thighs, I want you to take your feet together, knees wide. It might be like this, that's fine. Bring your heels as close to your pubic bone as you can, and then assist the stretch by taking the forearm on your knees and pulling apart. Don't ever take your hands on the joint on the knee, whether it be the front or the back of the knee. I just want you to assist the stretch by pressing down like this. Now come up a little bit taller with your torso, sternum kind of trying to reach to the ceiling as much as it can. Take a big breath there. Now release your hands to the floor. The forearm will disconnect from the legs. And with a tall spine, I want you just to kind of walk forward, lengthening the spine out, not curving or bowing, and then walk back up tall. Let's do a little stretch. You can take of the spine. You can keep your feet like this, or you can sit in pretzel, whatever is good for you. I'm going to stay like this to stretch my inner thighs. Take your right hand to the left knee and pull yourself backwards. Spine is really tall. Just a rotation of the rib cage. And then switch. You allow your hand to kind of assist the stretch, coming tall, looking over the shoulder. And switch. And there you go.